Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys Mike McCarthy replacement options that aren't Bill Belichick. The Dallas Cowboys suffered an embarrassing loss at home on Sunday, October 13th, when the Detroit Lions plowed them over, 47-9. During the season, there's been buzz about whether it's the final season for Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy, and after that 38-point loss to Detroit, it could be even more possible. McCarthy's contract is uncertain, so the Cowboys front office could decide to go with a different leader and not re-sign the coach. Former New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick is a perennial favorite in Cowboys coach chatter, but there are other candidates that are also getting mentioned as possible McCarthy replacements. As Jerry Jones sat celebrating his 82nd birthday by watching his Cowboys get trampled over by the Lions, Detroit offensive coordinator Ben Johnson could very well have caught his eye. In an October 17 feature for Sport DFW, NFL analyst and expert Sayer Bettinger names Johnson as the number one pick to step in for McCarthy. Given the way the Detroit Lions have been playing the last handful of years offensively, I would expect Ben Johnson to be one of the most highly coveted and sought-after head coach candidates until he finally accepts a job, Bettinger stated. And after turning down jobs the last couple of years, waiting for the perfect opportunity, you can't help but think the Cowboys would be exactly the type of job he'd be waiting for. Bettinger adds that Johnson has turned Detroit's offense into a juggernaut. They distribute the ball as well as any team in the league, and there are few defenses in the NFL that seem to be able to keep up with it, Bettinger stated. John Bueller from Fansided also named Johnson as a possible McCarthy replacement. It blew my mind that Ben Johnson returned to the Detroit Lions for another season to remain their offensive coordinator, he wrote in the September 23 piece. Bueller added, "What I like about Johnson is his ability to put his players in positions to make plays. He also coaches up the talent general manager Brad Holmes provides to him and the rest of the Lions coaching staff." In theory, Johnson would fit in quite nicely in the Cowboys building, as he would lean on Stephen Jones and Will McClay in the front office and would not challenge Jerry Jones all that much either. Maitland Rutledge of the Laundry Hat also names Johnson as a McCarthy replacement option. If Johnson were to come to the Cowboys, the offensive woes might disappear as fast as they appeared this season, Rutledge said in an October 14 feature. Give him Dak, Prescott, CeeDee Lamb and a new full-time starter at running back and Dallas could run up points like a cash register. Aside from Johnson, Bettinger likes Houston Texans offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick. Given the work we've seen Bobby Slowick and the Houston Texans do the last couple of seasons, it's not going to be a surprise when he's getting interviewed in the 2025 offseason by just about every team with a head coach opening, Slowick wrote. Looking outside the NFL, Rutledge points to USC head coach Lincoln Riley as an option. Hiring a college coach for his first pro job is risky, but Riley is champing at the bit to get a shot in the NFL, Rutledge stated. He grew up in Lubbock and attended Texas Tech, so it would be an ideal team to get started with. I see guys lazy. Troy Aikman blasts Cowboys for terrible play following horrific defeat against Lions. Troy Aikman, a Pro Football Hall of Famer and Dallas Cowboys legend, kept it an absolute bean about his former team, more specifically, their wide receiving core, while speaking in a radio interview Thursday. In their Week 6 contest, Dallas suffered a massive 47-9 blowout defeat against the Detroit Lions, not even scoring a single touchdown. Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb managed to scrape up 89 yards off 7 catches, but throughout the entire season, Dallas receivers have failed to eclipse 100 yards in a game. Aikman talked about it on 96.7 The Ticket in Dallas, and he didn't hold back whatsoever. "I think they run terrible routes," stated Aikman. "And I've thought that beyond this year. I think CD has got to improve in his route running. As a quarterback, if you're not certain where guys are going to be consistently, it's hard to play the position. That's what I see. I see guys lazy coming off the line of scrimmage. Sometimes they run. Usually if they do, it's because they're anticipating they're going to get the football on that play, but if they're not, they don't. And it all ties together. I'm not impressed with that part of it. Pro Bowl RB makes signing pitch to Jerry Jones and Cowboys in rumor and roster tracker. Come inside the star with your Dallas Cowboys with our rumor and roster tracker, news, injury updates, and the latest buzz. October 19th, what Leonard wants. The Dallas Cowboys are not planning any massive moves ahead of the November 5th NFL trade deadline. But that's not stopping Cowboys fan Shaquille O'Neal from trying to make a plea to owner Jerry Jones. As the Cowboys work through their bye week with a 3-3 record, they are currently sitting in the basement of the NFL with an average of just 77.2 rushing yards per game. So NBA icon Shaq, on a recent episode of The Big Podcast with Shaq, was joined by free agent running back Leonard Fournette, and then came the push. Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones. It's me, your boy, Shaq. Look at him, Fournette, looking good, six-pack. He's ready to go, O'Neal said. All right, Jerry Jones? Stop messing around. And what does Playoff Lenny say about this? Fournette made his point by stating his age. Facts, he said. I'm still 29. October 16th minor. If you are looking for the Cowboys front office to make blockbuster moves ahead of the November 5th trade deadline, you must be a new reader to CowboysCountry.com. Welcome. And, welcome to reality, as the Wednesday roster move is about somebody named Jalen Dalton, 27, is a former undrafted free agent of the Chicago Bears in 2019 who has bounced around in the NFL and in the minor leagues with the Seattle Sea Dragons and the San Antonio Brahmas. The North Carolina product will join the practice squad, replacing cut defensive tackle Phil Hoskins. October 13th. Skip him. The Dallas Cowboys were crushed on Sunday by the Detroit Lions by a score of 47-9 in a game in which $60 million QB Dak Prescott is naturally going to take a great deal of blame. Prescott offered up his worst performance of the season, throwing for just 178 yards with 2 interceptions in the loss. In the late going, the Cowboys pulled Dak to the safety of the bench and backup Cooper Rush came in for the fourth quarter. And it was about then when fake die-hard fan Skip Bayless tweeted that Dallas should make one more QB move. Put in Trey Lance. Bayless wrote on X. The problem? That's against NFL rules. Lance is the emergency third QB and can therefore only enter the game if the 2 guys ahead of him are injured. There are millions of real NFL and Cowboys fans who know this. And then there is the fraudulent cockroach who continues to con his shrinking audience. Skip Bayless. October 9th. Tryouts and moves. The Cowboys on Tuesday hosted 7 street free agents here at the Star, including former TCU QB Max Duggan, and in the end are making a trio of moves as a result. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Carl Lawson? Leave your opinion in the comments.